Unfortunately, sometimes people can find themselves stuck in pretty dangerous and life-threatening situations with little they can actually do about it. That's exactly what happened to the people we're going to talk about in this video. While they were experiencing a not that comfortable situation, they did everything in their power to save themselves and get the help that they needed in ways that will leave you shocked and amazed. Their way of thinking was absolutely phenomenal, with which they actually saved their own lives. So let's dive right into it. Today, we're going to present you with the top 10 secret messages sent by hostages. Let's get started. Number 10. The Pizza App. This story is about a 25-year-old woman who managed to get free from her abusive boyfriend who was holding her hostage at home. She couldn't leave because he was under the influence of drugs and had a knife in his hand, so her life was in serious danger. But one evening, she came up with a plan that ended up saving both hers and her children's lives. She managed to convince her boyfriend to get pizza through the Pizza Hut app. She placed an order for a large pepperoni pizza, and she left a message that said, "Please help, get 911 to me." The employees told the police, therefore they came to their house and arrested the abusive boyfriend, which saved their children's life. What a mind-blowing story, right? Number 9. The Pizza Call. This story was told on by Reddit by a police dispatcher who answered emergency calls. One day, a woman called to order a pizza, telling them her address. At this point, the man on the other end thought that this was a prank call, but didn't hang up just to make sure that the woman had the right number and repeated to her that she had called the police, not the pizza place. When she told him that she knew and continued to talk about the order and asked how long it would take for the order to be done, he realized that this wasn't a silly prank call and that she really needed help. Since she couldn't talk about it too much because there was someone else in the room with her, she ended the conversation. The dispatcher sent a police officer to her house and they found the woman beaten up by her drunk boyfriend. They arrested him, and the dispatcher was really impressed by the way the woman handled the situation and managed to get help. I mean, who wouldn't be? Number 8. The Dutch train hostage crisis. This story is going to leave you speechless. In 1975, in the Netherlands, 7 terrorists held captive a whole train of 50 passengers on board. They ruthlessly killed the driver right away, and on the 3rd day, they killed another passenger too. The Dutch government was stunned and with tied hands didn't know what to do. They weren't sure if they were going to stay patient and hope for the terrorists to surrender or take action and try to save them, which can result in a huge gun battle which would cause a huge massacre. Then, one night, one of the hostages used a mirror to give a message to the police in Morse code, which said, "Come and help get us out." That convinced the police to stop waiting and actually do something. A gun battle followed, as expected, and there were many deaths and injuries, but fortunately, most of the hostages were saved. What an incredible story with a happy ending. Number 7. Note in the bathroom. Sheila Fedrick was a stewardess for the Alaska Airlines, and on one of her flights she noticed 2 strange passengers on board, a nicely dressed man and a girl who was looking absolutely tortured, neglected, and terrified. She went to talk with the girl, but the man suddenly stopped their interaction, which made him even more suspicious. The stewardess put a note on the mirror of the bathroom, so when the girl came in to use it, she could write something in order to ask for help. And she did. It turns out she was a human trafficking victim. The stewardess contacted the police immediately, and the girl was saved, and the abuser was of course arrested. Afterward, the girl and the stewardess became best friends. Number 6. The Chinese Letter. On May of 2017, a woman from Arizona brought a purse from Walmart, but when she arrived home, she found something strange inside. It was a note that appeared to be written by a Chinese prisoner. In that note was a cry for help. The prisoner wrote about the awful conditions in the Chinese prisons. He wrote about how they made them work for 14 hours every day without any breaks. And if they didn't finish their job, they were beaten up. When they got sick, the cost of their medicine had been taken out from their slavery. The person who wrote the letter is stating that there is a big difference between American and Chinese prisons. Walmart said that it is impossible to find the origin of the letter. This still remains a mystery to this day. Number 5. Stitching. In 1942, during World War II, Major Alexis Kasdali was imprisoned by the Germans and was immediately sent to a prisoner camp. He spent his time in the prison mostly sewing, where he actually learned to sew really beautiful pieces with different and unique patterns on them. His pieces were so impressive that the Nazis loved them and hung them throughout the prison's offices. But what they didn't know is that the pieces were filled with secret messages. Around the edges were patterns filled with Morse code, which translated into "God Save the King" and "F Hitler." These messages would have gotten Alexis killed if they were decoded, but luckily they weren't. For it was 4 years until World War II ended. What a genius and lucky guy. Number 4. The Pizza Delivery Guy. This story is about how a quick-thinking pizza delivery guy saved a woman's life. The woman in question was kidnapped by her ex-boyfriend, who actually ordered the pizza. When the pizza delivery guy brought the pizza to the door, he saw the woman in the house standing behind the man, her boyfriend, who was holding her captive. The woman looked really fragile, had a black eye, and it seemed she really needed help. He saw her point to her black eye and whispered quietly, "Help, call the police." He called 911 right away. Not only that, but the boyfriend had a gun in his car, so if it wasn't for the delivery guy, she could have ended up dead. The boyfriend was arrested, and once again, the pizza delivery story saved the day. We really should start giving pizza delivery workers more credit. Number 3. The wordless request. Sometimes body language is the only thing that can save a person's life, and this woman is a true example of that. She got kidnapped by getting in a car with someone she thought was her friend's friend, but ended up being forced to stay in the car by an unknown man and was driven to an unknown location. She tried to escape, but unfortunately without any luck. However, one store's employee saw her. She didn't say anything, but he thought there was something off about her, and thankfully he was observant enough to notice her gesturing for help. He called the police, and luckily they came quickly. Thanks to this man, the girl ended up being saved and the man got arrested. Number 2. California teen. A teen girl was kidnapped by 3 men on January of 2020. They drove her over 40 miles out of town and treated her really badly. When she lost all hope that she would ever be found, she managed to get her phone and send a message through Snapchat. The message said, "Somebody help me. I'm in a random man's car and I'm not in Santa Cruz. Where am I?" Thank God that Snapchat knows the location and time of every message, so her friends were able to call the police and they arrived quickly. They saved the girl and arrested the 3 men who took her on multiple charges. Such a brave girl. Number 1. Karen Espindola. This story happened in December 2019 when Karen Espindola from Mexico City was coming back from a job interview at the city center. She took a cab, but as soon as she got in, she realized there was something weird and unsettling about the driver. She texted her mother a message that said, "Mommy, this man looks really suspicious and gross." Her mom told her to leave and go find another cab, but it was too late. The man had locked her in the car and was about to kidnap her. This whole situation lasted around 6 hours. Thankfully, because of the message she sent to her parents, they were able to alert the police, who tracked down the car and safely took her to her home, to her parents and 3 children. Guys, that'll be it for this video. We hope you like it. This is our pick of the top 10 craziest secret messages sent by hostages. Which story stuck out to you the most? Did any of these stories surprise you? Would you do something differently if you were in the shoes of some of these hostages that we talked about today? Tell us in the comment section below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thrilling info like this, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of them. And of course, thank you so much for being with us. We are here for you. See ya in our next video.